And hello, people. So, tonight we have another special edition of C&C Bros for you all, and we have another guest star with us. It's Drew this time. Say hi, Drew.
Hi.
Drew's our good friend, good friends with George, good friends with me. Shelly, I don't know if you ever met Drew.
Not once.
Not once.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I mean, he lives with me, so kind of gotta be.
But yeah, so we are double stuffed once again tonight, and it is a joyous day. Starting out the new year right. Is this our first podcast? It's the new year?
Yep.
Well, yeah, it's been 4
Yeah, it
days.
is. Hell yeah. So, what I'm going to do, since I don't have this link up yet, is I'm going to go to the YouTube channel. You guys discuss amongst yourselves for like 3 seconds or so. God damn it, Shelly. Alright, I got the link.
Wait, what are we supposed to
Amazing.
discuss amongst ourselves?
Yes, you were supposed to discuss amongst yourselves while I was getting the link and not being
Discuss
awkward.
what?
Oh,
Anything!
well, I heard like a Kit Kat bar, and then I parroted that back, and something discourse. I don't know.
Anyway. So, what do we all have topics for tonight?
I don't know. You sent them to us.
I did send them to you,
Or
but
were
does
you
Drew
wanting
have
me
the
to say them?
topics? No.
Okay.
All right. So what I want to talk about tonight, since there's been a very big shortage in anime and gaming news as of late, because we just came out of Christmas, nothing's going on yet. The most that I've seen has been Kingdom Hearts related, because we're supposedly gonna get more KH3 news later this month.
An announcement for an announcement.
And an announcement for an announcement. But that I haven't seen shit on the internet lately. I've been on Anime News Network, and not a lot's going on. So what I wanted to do this episode, since we all wanted to get together and stream some and talk, let's take a look back at the classics of anime, and we could talk about good times, good memories, fond memories of shonen, our favorite moments in shonen anime, some old classic anime like Ghost in the Shell, and this pertains to the live-action movie that's coming out too. And as well as different things like, what do you think the best romance in anime is, and why? And I would appreciate any viewers participating in the comment section as well, because we love to hear from you guys. We like to bounce different opinions, even though they're usually very wrong and disturbing, off of each other.
Hit them where it hurts.
Tell our
have.
audience that they're wrong.
I absolutely will tell someone they're wrong when they tell me that Komugi and Meruem is not the greatest anime romance of all time.
Who?
Huh?
Exactly. If you haven't watched Hunter x Hunter. If you haven't watched Hunter x Hunter, then you're not a real anime fan, in my opinion.
Sir, I think it's Hunter x Hunter.
No, you could fuck right off with that. You could go straight to hell. But no,
Anyway.
I wanted to start off the podcast just with a little bit of gaming news, and this is just personally me, and this is more directed towards George and Drew. I love Overwatch. I was wrong. I've been playing the hell out of this game, and I didn't think I would. I thought it was going to be another Battlefront situation where I play it for I don't know, a month, less than a month, maybe a week and a half, and then I get tired of it because I hate playing online so much.
I mean, all things considered, you bought this one for yourself.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just the power of cities.
And that reminds me, I did want to have another hentai stream. Eventually. But anyway, aside, I really am enjoying the game. It's kind of genius because it adds in a lot of personality for the characters, even though like we don't get like a lot of like their backgrounds in the game per se, and a lot of that's like extra media that you have to consume. Enough is present in the main game, I think, to make you appreciate like who these people are, and because of the way that they play, and through like the different voice lines you can get, the sprays and whatnot, costumes. Like you can get a sense for the personalities of these people, like with the very limited resources that you have, and you can still become attached to them. And they're fun as hell to play as. Like everybody has like such a. I say everybody, like I'm being objective because like I know that like I don't like playing as certain characters, but every one of the characters has a unique playstyle, obviously, and it's really easy to get into it as long as you have like good planning skills, I guess. Like if you know like how game mechanics work and how to get off like enough kills and how to adapt to the situation in a match, I think that it's a load of fun. And I just wanted to share that I'm loving the hell out of this game.
Yeah,
and I'm glad I got it.
I really appreciate how it's like not all strictly raw FPS skills that every other FPS like game expects from you. I don't own the game, but during Christmas I was watching my brother play it for like 3 hours straight, and he's like just raw Call of Duty background. Any skill he has worth anything in life probably came from that, and so like he was doing the new one-on-one feature they have, and anytime it was a matchup just dependent on aiming skill, like McCree or Widowmaker or something like that, he had it. And then if it took anything even remotely relating to some other kind of matchup or strategy, then he was just completely screwed over. And I appreciate that because my aiming is crap, and that means I could actually get into the game.
That's my problem too, because I don't play a lot of shooters to begin with, and I don't play on PC, so I'm not even as near as precise as I want to be. Because I honestly do think that shooters are easier on PC. But I like how the game incorporates like mild MMO elements, and Blizzard's no stranger to MMOs, of course. But I like that, like how you set up a party basically, like typically around like the standard like RPG elements, or the standard for a party, because like you've got your healer, you've got your tanks, you've got your disruptors, which are like your debuffers, you've got your buffers, and then offense-based characters, and then wild cards, essentially. And I love like I love the fact that like as the match goes on, like you can adjust your character and you can adjust your team's party to varying results to like suit the need of like the match and how it's going, and you can like experiment with different characters, and you can. Strategy's very fluid in this game, and the action's fast paced, and it's fun, and it's easy to like pick up once you get the hang of different character strengths. Personally, like I love playing as like I call them disruptors. I don't know what the game calls them. I think they're like rooks. Because I know you got your tanks and you got your offense, but then there's like another category that I don't remember what the name to. Defense.
Yeah, they're just classified as defense heroes.
I love playing as defense heroes because I love fucking with the other team. Like Junkrat and May are probably some of like the most fun to like fuck with people. But I typically don't go for like straight offense just because that's fun, but it's no fun to me. Because it just seems typical, and it doesn't give me enough varied gameplay. But I will play Reaper every now and then, just because it can suit my needs and he's easy to use for me. But most of the time, I'm either playing Junkrat or Lucio in a team match.
Yeah, the little bit I've played with it, I really enjoyed Diva because I've just kind of always been drawn to heavyweight characters. And she literally just feels like if you took Bowser from Smash and put it in an FPS game. Like, it's great.
Diva's, I feel like that's the next character I want to, like, really get into and try and figure out how they play well. Because I do like how she plays, and I love, like, how smooth her controls are. and I like her fighting style. But at the same time, like I can't use her effectively, and if I like pull her out into like a quick match, then I'm gonna get my ass beat because I don't really know what I'm doing. But it takes practice.
That's just me with all of them because I played like a grand total of an hour. That's always just kind of been a thing with FPS games in general for me. It's just like one of the primary skills when it comes to those kind of games is like knowing everything in advance so you can have a really effective strategy. Because yeah, there's a lot of like twitch moments where you can just get good and pull off something amazing because your reflexes are on point. But other than that, you really just kind of have to go in knowing everything. You have to kind of know the entire layout. You have to know what everybody's capable of and like what different team dynamics can provide. And that is a lot of homework.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Smash for me because like Smash had like a whole like underbelly of like mechanics that you had to learn, like combos that you set off and like how to set up things, like how to like hang on the edge and then make a comeback from it. Like that, there was like a whole game like underneath the first layer that I didn't even want to touch because I knew it was there and it intimidated me so hard. But with Overwatch, it seems like it's not as intimidating because I feel like there's a lot more balance and like active like effort to keep things like kept up and fair. And then you have like varying game modes where it's like, hey, when you die, like this past Wonderland, like you would respawn as a different character. Like that forced me to like change up how my playstyle was and experiment with new characters, and I loved it. And I think that adds a little bit of flavor and spice to your experience overall. And so you're not like, it's not like where I'm playing Smash with you or and George and I'm getting like my ass beat, or when I'm playing with Shelly and he just plays as Kirby and acts like a dick the entire time.
You just mad because I'm better than you at it.
I know, because you're a better Kirby than I am.
I don't know. I mean, I agree with you, but then I just get stomped anytime I do Overwatch anything because not only is there a whole bunch of stuff going on that I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff going on that I don't understand in 360. So, like, at least with Smash, I see you whooping my ass. Like, half the time in Overwatch or any FPS game, it's just, I don't even know what I did wrong because I don't even see how I got whooped.
Yeah, I had her pick you off from afar. Genji got you from behind.
Try a Genji from far off using Shuriken when he can't even see me in his reticle. Like that happened to me. I got sniped by a Genji like halfway across the map because he was just throwing Shuriken, hoping he'd hit something, and he killed me. It was bullshit. But I really do want you to try and get that game, Shelly. Like I do think you'd enjoy it and you'd find your niche because it's not all about shooting elements.
I feel like Shelly would at least enjoy Junkrat.
Shelly would enjoy Junkrat a lot because I enjoy Junkrat because Junkrat's whole purpose in a match is just to cause absolute chaos. Because, and I didn't figure this out until recently when I killed myself, his rockets actually do harm himself. I don't know if they harm teammates, but they do hurt him. And so when they bounce back when you're hitting against walls and they like get right back at you, you lose like 40 HP or so. But I love playing as Junkrat because basically you could just go in and start firing haphazardly, and if you hit people, you hit people, and if you don't, like you get them scared to come out into the open because they're like, shit, I'm going to take heavy damage if they do. And so if you're working with a Reinhardt and 76, then you're good to go. But anyway, enough of me gushing over Overwatch. I do want to play that, though, tonight when we get off stream, if you want to, George.
I'll have to let you know about that when I get home because that's not where I am right now.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, it's not a matter of figured. That's what he told us.
I knew that, too, because he said he was over at Justin's using Justin's setup. Oh, shit. What am I trying to say? What's the next topic, guys? Because I didn't have my list open.
Jesus.
You're a horrible host.
I do this often, actually. No, I don't. This is like the second I'll feel responsible.
Code Geass.
Anyway, Code Geass.
Code Geass.
What anime? I have never seen it. I don't know anything about it. I just know that apparently Lelouch is cool, and it's getting another series revival, and I don't know if it needs it.
If I may.
Yes, go right ahead.
All right, so
spoilers, everybody.
Won't even spoil it for real. Won't
Okay.
even do all that. This is all I need to give a bit of preface. Code Geass takes place in I guess it wouldn't even be the future at this point. It's like fictional, anywhere between 2014 to 2017, but it's an alternate reality in which at the point in the American Revolution, I don't remember the exact events leading up, but basically the British won.
Uh-huh.
And so everything that's current day United States belonged to, British Empire, except in Code Geass, it's like the Empire of Britannia. And you have Charles Britannia, who essentially is the King of England, but because, they're this super empire, this
Open for business. We're good. We're sharing a mic now.
yeah. Coolness. I like it. Yeah. Sorry. But
Okay.
as a result of being a super empire, they essentially control the world. And they're rapidly colonizing every day. So you get the banished prince, Lelouch, and his sister Nunnally, and they get banished to Area 11, which is present day Japan. They yeah. They believe anyone who is not Britannian is so beneath them, so little that their zones and even ethnicity, heritage, nationality, whatever, is referred to as a number. And so Lelouch is like, you thought you got rid of me, but I'm about to reclaim the throne. Sound familiar? Of course it does.
Yeah.
There's a bit of action. There's a handful of drama. It is mecha. It's done by Sunrise. So, Gundam.
It is a mecha?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's mainly why I've been staying away from it. Because
I guess now because of Iron Blooded Orphans, I am more open to mecha series. And Evangelion too. I did watch that and I enjoyed it just fine. I'm open to watching this, but I never saw the appeal in it, and I think a lot of it had to do with the art style, because I know that the people that love it, and they're obsessed about it, and Lelouch is the penultimate, or the quintessential meme in the anime community, at least as far as I see. But I don't know. I'm intrigued to see it, but I think I have been spoiled on the main plot twist so many times by accident, or the end of the series, so to speak. So the fact that we're getting this new series now, I feel I don't know if that devalues the franchise as a whole, or if it's going to enhance it, because I don't know what to expect, because I only know the big plot or the ending of this anime,
which might not even be the ending of this anime, pending what R3
on what they do with the series. Yeah. Because I'm all for experiencing the journey, but if it turns out that this new anime just throws the continuity into absolute chaos, then that makes me very hesitant to want to step in. But I was curious because this has been a series. When did this come out? Late 90s?
Whoa. You're reaching there, buddy.
Wasn't it 2006?
Yeah.
Was it?
Something like that.
That early?
It came out around the same time as
I didn't know when Death Note came out.
It definitely started airing on Adult Swim around a particular time. Its original run, I want to say, I'm making sure I got this right. Yeah, its vanilla run was 06 or 07 for season 1 and
Oh,
08 for season 2. And I think it came out a little bit later than that over here because I remember watching it in high school, I believe, shortly after that run of Death Note.
Was it on Toonami, or was Toonami still going at that point?
It was on Adult Swim.
Okay.
This was when Adult Swim was like, all right, we'll do anime one night a week, whatever.
On Saturdays.
On Sunday.
People will fall asleep and only wake up in the middle of the night to Inuyasha endings.
Or like watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and then go right to bed. Because that's exactly what happened to me. I think I have a story to tell about that, but we'll get into that when we get into another topic. Final thoughts on it, I guess. Would you recommend it to like any anime fan, or would someone need to be like a fan of a certain kind of genre? Is it more niche than I'm being led to believe?
Me, and it's kind of bad to ask me questions like this because I'm kind of person who's open to anything as long as, you know, it doesn't blatantly scream horrible. So
yeah, like you play Senbon Kagura, or whatever it's called.
Whatever. I would recommend it to any anime fan, most definitely. Just because it's a bit of a mix of a lot of things.
All right. Well, that'll have to go on my list because I've got Spice and Wolf. I've got that. I need to finish the rebuilds for Evangelion. And by finish, I mean watch the third one and wait for the fourth one.
That being said, though, it does have, like, I don't want to say a bit of an older taste, but, you know, the whole overarching theme is, like, you know, war and prejudice and control. And so it's like if you make your rounds watching, like, I don't know, give me something here, because you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'll save you from the trouble of explaining it.
If you make your rounds watching Fairy Tail, then maybe Code Geass would be a toss-up as to whether you should, like, do it or not.
That's not meant to be low-key shade at Fairy Tail fans, but
it's not, because I watch Fairy Tail. Like,
yeah, like,
There's no way you don't watch Fairy Tail, George.
So
I watch Fairy Tail.
When? When did it come on?
Comparison, as somebody who has watched,
exactly. No one watches Fairy Tail right now.
There's, like, stark contrast.
Save your hate, Shelly.
Jesus, we got David Mason in the comments saying no,
and I don't know who he is. What did we do to you, Mr. Mason? Did we scorn your love? Did you want us to be your senpai? Because I'll be your senpai. Just not the kind of senpai you want me to be. I don't want to be your senpai. But I don't know, like, I've just been seeing like this like revival of old series, like especially lately. And a lot of things are getting a season 2, and not just old series. Like, I think Attack on Titan's getting one, Konosuba's getting one, I think, this next season, and I'm so fucking excited. But and like Berserk got its like revival anime, and that turned out to be like a hot mess of like inconsistencies and shit. But I was just wondering whether or not, like, in the light of like this new revelation, because I saw how much people were so excited about it, whether or not it was worth recommending to like the general audience, because I know that like most people who like consume anime consume like what's thrown in their face, and what's thrown in their face is typically like widely advertised shonens, popular like romances, or popular ecchi at the time, or comedy series. Like, we had Keijo. Like, a lot of people got in watching like Yuri on Ice, Keijo, and fucking.
High High School DxD was just all thrown up in my face.
Yeah, more ways than one. But
I don't really feel like Keijo was thrown in my face too much. I can't even remember. Like, I think I heard. Right, I remember now. The only reason I heard about Keijo before I started watching it, and it was already like 5 episodes in, was a YouTube video that was like, the new JoJo looks great, and it took that first fight between main girl and Kawaii, and they just put the Pillarman theme to it. Yeah, like that's all the advertisement I got for Keijo.
See, I've seen a shit ton of advertising from Crunchyroll and Funimation, like specifically, and they've been pushing it. Oh boy, they've been pushing it. Like this is like the flagship ecchi shit series because like DxD used to be it, and then they moved away from that, and then I think they tried for like 3 minutes to make Monster Musume like the flagship ecchi series, but that was so out there. I don't think that it was doing too well as far as like popularity.
Okay, but Keijo's good.
Yeah, Keijo's good. Like I'm not gonna lie, like that gets a rise out of me.
I don't even know if you would call
it. Not like that.
Oh my.
I don't even know if you would call it ecchi anime in the sense that like you're just watching it to like for gratification basically. Because I'm gonna do a little tangent here. They do something really interesting with the fan service. They have it all over the place, but then they give you something else to think about with it. Because like every other time anime does fan service, it's always just like, ooh, titties, right? But with Keijo, it's less of, wow, girls, they're so pretty. And it's more like you look at those titties and they're like, holy shit, you could murder somebody with that. And then they do.
And then
that's amazing.
I still love, and I don't know her name, like the yandere kind of girl that like knocks out people like by knocking them. Yeah, I love her. She's the best girl. She's great. Like, get me a pin-up of her.
Did you finish Keijo?
I did not finish Keijo. I was watching Iron-Blooded Orphans with Shelly, and I gave up Keijo for a bit.
Finish Keijo.
She's like a regular, and her whole thing is like critical hits, and she just gets more and more intense with them, like even crazier shit, all the way up until the end. Because it kind of turns into a thing where her whole thing is pressure points. Like, specifically going for weak spots.
Oh, okay, good. She's a Hyuga.
Yeah, more or less. In fact, I guess this is kind of spoilery. I don't know. It's not a move that like, decides the match. But she has a move called the Heartbreaker, where she just slams her ass straight into your chest, and it's supposed to
stops your heart.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
She whips it. Like nobody dies from that, but they could have.
Isn't this a sport?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like all out. Keijo is the all out of this season with titties.
I need to pick back up on All Out. I think I was like on episode 6. I was like, oh, okay, well, I've waited so long. I mean, the dub's out, so I'm like, I may as well just wait for the dub.
The dub's really interesting, honestly, because like you probably saw it far enough in where like they talked about everybody having accents, and they put that in the dub, but like it's Southern American accents. So everybody's just got to draw, but it's like a different, like one girl's kind of Alabama, one girl's kind of Georgia, one girl's just black. It's great.
I know one of the in the dub of Keijo, one of the Team 4-star members, the one that does 18, isn't it? Yep.
Side note: I was watching the newest episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, and Rebecca, for whatever reason, was Erica Harletcher. But if I remember correctly, she's going to be Anne in Persona 5.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Don't even talk to me about that game.
But Brian...
I'm so broken. Because, like, I've decided now, like, I've been going back and forth because I got, like, some money for Christmas. I got like $100, and I'm like, okay, well, what do I put this money down? On one hand, I could spend it on like some cool stuff, like gas and food and haircuts, like things that I need.
Yeah, gas is cool.
Yeah, exactly. Or I could like put $40 down on Berserk, which I'm inclined to do, so that because that comes out sooner, and then put like another 20 on Persona, and then I'll have $50 to pay off because Persona comes out like I think the very first week of March or April.
What? No,
Excuse me.
April 4th.
April 4th. Okay. So, yeah, I've got like 3 months.
To do April Fools with that because Full Arcana.
I was actually hoping for April 20th.
At some point, you start to wonder if people know anything about the lore.
Memes. I'm sorry,
What are you laughing about, Shelly?
Oh, nothing.
You want to explain that little muttering?
Oh, no, I'm just reading something on Facebook.
Oh.
Something about Avatar: The Last Airbender and people wondering about.
Oh, that's Shelly shit, guys.
Something like Lord of the Rings. Try to compare fire to Germany and water to French and.
Oh yeah, it's that one where they were like, "Is it like is the entire thing like an allegory for like world powers?" And I was like, "No, not Avatar."
It's not, because at some point you have to wonder, like, do you know anything about the lore of Avatar?
Because like Lord of the Rings wasn't intended. Yeah, Lord of the Rings wasn't intended to be an allegory, but it ended up being like a mild one because Tolkien took so much inspiration from like World War I because he was in it when he was writing the book. So, I mean, what happens. But yeah, Avatar is not anything like related to like modern history.
The closest thing you could come to is that that last season of Korra.
Yeah. But shit, I lost what I was talking about. Fuck.
You were talking about butts.
Was I?
I mean, we're talking about Keijo.
Anyway, I'll hear about it later when I watch this playthrough back. But anyway, point being, go watch Keijo, go watch anime on Crunchyroll. Go watch Code Geass if you want to, because I definitely will have that on my list, because we are getting a new series, and it could be good, could be bad, could be Berserk bad. But I'll still watch Berserk because, you know, that's my baby.
Nothing will ever be Berserk bad.
Like Berserk 2016, let's clarify.
Okay.
I was about to say,
nothing will ever be Berserk bad.
I was what about Boku no Pico?
Boku no Pico
Nothing
will never
be
bad.
Berserk bad.
No, see, Boku no Pico has like a special place. It's like the new Two Girls, One Cup. It's a rite of passage kind of thing. And like it has that niche now forever.
It's like Lemon Party or the Eel video.
Right. Nobody gains anything from Berserk 2016.
You just
at least
lose
with Boku no Pico,
things.
you're like, okay, I did the thing. Berserk 2016 is like, I took something I could have enjoyed and shat on it.
I like this. I'm liking this dynamic here.
Also, since we're just yelling out things for people to watch JoJo.
Watch JoJo.
Watch JoJo.
Watch JoJo. It's just too good not to watch. And Drew, if you've been watching our podcast where I keep saying that I hate the Josuke Kira fight.
You hate it? No, I don't
actually
watch.
He doesn't watch.
I don't have the attention span for it.
We're that bad.
No, I put it on, and then I start doing the meme thing on Facebook. I don't know if you guys are friends with me on Facebook besides George,
yes.
But like, it's just nothing but memes.
I know.
Yeah.
It's great. I appreciate it though.
Just listen to the hentai one.
Yeah, we do have one where we talk about hentai for a good little bit.
Beautiful. But you don't
I actually want to do another stream like that.
You don't like the Josuke Kira fight?
No, I don't like the Josuke Kira fight because, and I say this every fucking stream now. I like go on a tangent. I really do. I've said this for like the past 3 streams. It would be over so quickly if they had anyone else but Okuyasu and Josuke. but they wrote it in such a way because Josuke had not gotten his time to shine really in the manga because so many other characters were getting good fights, and so Araki gave it to Josuke because he's like the perfect counter to Kira, right? Well, the fight's not that good.
Okay, well, at least the fight like makes sense more so than the Jotaro versus Dio fight, where suddenly
that's still
we
a
can
great
fly.
Fight.
I'm going to have to disagree with you there.
Hey, did it end with a bullshit power up that you'll never ever see again?
The ambulance.
No, we saw it again.
Okay, well,
but
then
it did end with a bullshit power up.
It's fine.
But they can fly.
I'm throwing shade at you, Fairy Tail.
Hey, I still read it.
I mean, if we're gonna talk about shit ending with bullshit power-ups, our entire generation was raised on DBZ.
You right.
That spirit sword, though?
That spirit sword, though.
All my sorrow.
That moment when Kai Kisuke was Kai Kisuke.
I mean,
Did I mention that?
What
the fuck? Turn off your phone.
For a while when like we hit Super Saiyan 3, where it was like your input versus output is just stupid. Like we're relying way too much on this, and they just kept relying on it anyways.
The power levels in Super made no sense at that point, though.
But no, I was talking about the end of Z with like Super Saiyan 3 in general. Like specifically 3.
Super Saiyan 3 is stupid.
Yeah.
We have tangented, ladies and gentlemen. It's
I actually really like Super in the way it does its like power balances and stuff. Like you have the characters that are clearly just in a completely different realm, and we show you how strong they are once, and then we don't fuck with that anymore, and we go on to something that's more interesting, and we kind of stop caring about power levels. It's more about like technique and stuff. And I don't know. It reminds me more of Dragon Ball than Z as much, and I like that. It's also the first time I've watched Dragon Ball or any Dragon Ball in subs, and oh my god, I don't know how we did dub voices for like 12 years. I can't go back. Old lady Goku is just too precious.
I hate it.
I need my Goku to be voiced by Sean Schemmel.
Like I'm craving it. Like I heard Beerus's voice in the trailer, and I got so happy because I've missed a good English dub. Because his voice is amazing, and I don't know who does him, but like Beerus has like one of the best voices in the dub.
Oh, yeah, the Beerus and the Whis dub are both great. But I don't know.
Because the guy that does
one of my complaints with Z was that it was always just like really, really, really heavy-handed to the point where you don't have an energy left to invest in it. Like there's no stakes, even if there are stakes, even if they try to get rid of the Deus Ex Machina that undoes all the damage, they just figure out a way to Deus Ex Machina back into existence. But with Super, it's like, look, we're not trying to constantly destroy the world. Just enjoy the fight.
Yeah, I like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the lighthearted subs kind of add to that. But still, agreeing with what you said, the Beerus and Whis English are great.
It's just I don't get how Goku Black just couldn't kill Trunks, for all that time.
Trunks' running away game is so strong, it transcends time and space. Literally.
He's got legs for days. Okay, so moving on to the next topic. Let's talk about Ghost in the Shell for a minute.
All right, hold on.
Never seen it.
Hold on, just a sec.
Who has seen Ghost in the Shell here?
I have, but give me 1 second. Hey, Nick.
Okay.
It's time.
Wait, you're saying it's time because he's doing this? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Is Nick going to do this discussion?
He's gonna provide a bit of input and exposition. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Does he need to steal somebody's headset, or we just?
I'll probably just share the earbuds. Heck, I might just even sub out so I can fuss at this man about Smash Power Rankings.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a sub in, and it's fantastic. Because I don't know anything about Ghost in the Shell. I don't know if this movie's going to be good or not. It looks all right visually.
If we go with the trend of anime movies, it will be shit.
Except
consider-
Rurouni Kenshin and Ace Attorney.
Yeah, like I don't know if you can classify this as an anime movie anymore, though.
Yeah, you can still classify it.
The costume design's pretty on point, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Although Bato doesn't have the eye things, and that's bothering me a lot.
Okay, I think he'll be approaching soon. But yes, no, I have seen the film.
is it a film or is it an anime series?
It is a film.
It's a movie.
Wait.
Oh shit! If it's a film, then I can watch it tonight.
Shell thing, or
He's using the original to I guess. Are you like trying to make comparisons to the original for your expectation on what the live action is going to be like, or something to that effect? He's asking for exposition on how well the first film did and whether that will like adequately transfer into a live action.
Because I don't know what to expect. Because
So
I don't
he's
know
asking
anything
if
about
we've
this.
seen, like the original.
I didn't even consider that they'd be pulling from the movies. Like you said, Ghost in the Shell, and I just think of the anime series, you know, like
Standalone Complex or Standalone Complex Second Gig.
Yeah.
Wait,
I kinda thought
there is an anime?
Okay, yeah. So like Ghost in the Shell starts with like one or two movies, and then it turned into a pretty alright anime series. It's been on Adult Swim for like years. Like it's been on Adult Swim since before they turned their anime block back into Tsunami, and they were just doing like Bleach and FMA and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like Ghost in the Shell has been a staple on Adult Swim for years.
This series has, and I don't think they've ever shown the film.
But they're on Netflix.
They are,
They
yeah.
are. I watched like the second one, I think, because I didn't know it was the second one. Yeah, it was pretty good.
And then on for those of you who got your premium cable satellite packages, of course I don't know if they come on there anymore, but I remember having movie channels, and I first saw Ghost in the Shell like on Stars, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but if you've never seen anything from Ghost in the Shell, it's like a very reality-based sci-fi.
Uh-huh.
In the sense that the only weird thing going on is the artificial humans and the whole cyborg thing. And the overall like pacing and feel of the show is really, really, really fast. Because it's like they try to take a couple episodes of CSI, add an extra layer of sci-fi to it, and condense it all down to one episode. So people are just talking 90-0 the entire time. And if you aren't paying attention the entire time, you lose track of everything. That being said,
Because me and him are
if you're trying to like watch something and then fall asleep, not because it's boring, but because you just kind of want to wear off that last couple of minutes of brain activity before you're in a coma,
Yeah.
like, it's great for that.
All right, on the cast now we have Mr. Nick Knighton here to give a little bit more exposition on Ghost in the Shell.
I don't know what's been covered. I just finished being lagged out in Street Fighter.
Rip. Brian was stating that he had never seen like the original film, and so he's, for all intents and purposes, just kind of wondering what it is. Is it good? Is that going to transfer well into the live action?
And does the live action look promising or just shitty to you as a fan? Because I don't know what to expect, because as far as I can tell, it looks like they're throwing a lot of talent at it, but I don't know how well that translates to, good product.
Well, the issue with Ghost in the Shell is that depending on what you've seen first, it's completely different. Because the original manga is completely different from the movie, which is a classic, which is completely different from the TV show, which like everyone loved on Adult Swim. And the movie looks great, but like listening to what they're talking about, it also sounds like the people that wrote it have no idea about anything before. But it looks great.
So you're telling me this is like Eva almost?
When I watched the trailer, I was like, I don't know what they're talking about, but this looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like the concept and I like the cyborg aspect of it, but like, I don't know what it is they're trying to like adapt, because this could just be a Hollywood film. Like I was telling Shelly, this doesn't feel like an anime film to me, and I don't know why that is. Like I just feel like it's a Hollywood, like this is original Hollywood work, and I know it's not, but I wonder why. Like it doesn't feel like it has any ties to the actual industry as a whole, you know? Because it feels like a completely different beast at this point.
Just judging from like the trailer and what you can pick up from them saying in the trailer, it does sound like they're trying to go with their own thing instead of attempting to adapt any storyline from any of the previous material.
Yeah, I just looked it up on Wikipedia, and all it has for premise is cyborg counter-terrorist field commander, the Major, and her task force Section 9 thwart cyber criminals and hackers. Now they must face a new enemy who will stop at nothing to sabotage Hanko's robotics, artificial intelligence technology. That's it.
So basically what they're doing is just using the assets from a different production and just making their own thing out of it.
Yeah, it's like when you take an anime and just like throw an anime movie in there, same plot or same setting, but then nothing that would actually impact the vanilla universe.
So we could very well get a Dragon Ball Evolution.
I guess.
Yeah.
But with the amount of time and effort they're putting into this, like you'd think that they'd avoid that.
Yeah, well, I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly.
I mean, I would love for a live-action Berserk.
Avatar.
I just gave myself a new topic. If we did a live-action Berserk, who would you want to be Guts?
Or I could stop the broadcast right now.
You could.
Do we need to get flowers in there?
No.
This is his room.
No.
It's fine. We just hand him a microphone, and then we all go get food, and then we come back.
Ooh, The Rock.
And go to bed.
Are you saying The Rock is Guts?
Yeah. Just let it be Guts.
John Cena.
The really bad movies where like the actor plays all the characters, if The Rock did one, I would watch it.
I feel that.
We just need like.
But he can't be Guts from the anime. He has to be like Dwayne Johnson, just cracking jokes and shit.
You don't know what The Rock's cooking or what the Guts is cooking.
But you know how Vin Diesel does all these movies based on his D&D characters?
Yeah.
We just need manga writers to do this for their own movies. So like we get another live action Dragon Ball movie and it's just Akira Toriyama being Goku. But like voiced over by the old Japanese lady.
Oh god.
That's like if we ever do a live action Metal Gear movie, I totally want Liam Neeson as Snake, but I still want David Hayter to do all the lines.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would make the most sense because like you can't get away from his voice at the end of the day.
Right, not unless you're the Phantom Pain. So you can't get away from his voice at the end of the day.
I mean, you could. They did. What's his name? Sutherland. Keith Sutherland.
Yeah.
He did a good job. They just couldn't
all
use him because they
five
had no
lines.
money. Yeah. Like he did nothing.
Yep.
And no wonder he sounded good because whenever he spoke, it was a breath of fresh air.
Right.
It's like,
What makes me mad is
you're
they
here.
got a separate voice actor for Big Boss at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4. I don't even... Was it Liam Neeson?
It was not Liam Neeson.
Okay, I don't know why I thought it was. That's just the first thing that popped in my head because we were talking about it. But yeah, they got a different guy from David Hayter so you could tell the two apart. And then when they don't bring David Hayter back for the Phantom Pain, they don't just go get that guy who is technically, canonically Big Boss. Like, you had a person right there.
Richard Doyle.
That sounds.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
I don't like
that
the way that name rolls
guy.
off the tongue.
Richard Doyle.
Doyle.
Richard Doyle.
Doyle.
Like, you just know anyone's the worst.
But yeah, I think these live action movies are really tricky, and I don't know what the hell they did with Rurouni Kenshin because I haven't seen Rurouni Kenshin, and I really want to. Like, I started watching that.
Well, if you don't go watch that,
Dude, I was trying to watch it back when Storm 4 came out because I remember I was trying to watch it while like we were waiting for the tournament to happen, and I got to like the end of the second episode, and then I just never picked it up at home because I was always with Jessica.
Then he lost in the first round of the tournament because he didn't give me the controller.
That's right.
and then you left food in my store.
Yeah, I did. It was Taco Bell. You're welcome.
I saw him do it too.
You didn't say anything?
No, because I knew you were gonna do it.
You're just as guilty as I am. Guilty as I
never
am.
said I wasn't guilty.
Fine, y'all haven't been back since. It's cool.
I have been back since.
Yeah, we have.
Plenty of times. I remember specifically when I went in to go get Persona 4, and you're like, thank Christ, Brian.
Yeah, I went to go get
Like,
Uncharted 4.
finally.
You came and bought Ultimax.
Yeah, I did.
And you
come
had to
by
get 2.0 on your laptop.
2.0.
Yeah, I'll explain that later.
Christ.
Uh,
But yeah, next topic.
okay.
So, in the
So,
spirit of old school anime and Toonami, since we got onto that, shit. I was thinking about it, but like I forgot what I was going to say. I don't write down my train of thought anymore. It's horrible. Anyway, what were some old school anime that you liked watching back in the day? What were the ones that really like made you excited for them to come on that premiered every week, either on Toonami or Adult Swim? This also can include anime movies or
Ronin
films
Warriors,
that
next
came on
question.
off. Okay, so just tell me about like what animes like influenced your childhood in a big way.
Oh, Hamtaro.
You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I was into Hamtaro for a bit.
See,
Hamtaro was pretty good. Rurouni Kenshin for me though, because like the thing that really sold me on it was that all the weapons and stuff were semi-believable, and then they always had that like explanation before the fight, like, "Hey, this is what this weapon is good as, and you can like use it for this and this," and that's I don't know, that's the kind of stuff I've always looked forward to in any anime or show, anything. Like, if you introduce a concept, you better damn well explain yourself so I know exactly what could happen. Do not be pulling some kind of bullshit where, like, this sword is good for, like, this and this range and this type of opponent, and then at the end of it, it just can also shoot bullets. Like, don't do that.
I think for me, and I've got a few that used to come on Toonami that I was really into. I really liked Yu Yu Hakusho when I saw that. I liked Tenchi Muyo.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That like I love that show, and I liked it for the romance and the harem element because like I crushed on like most of the leads. And I really appreciated shit, what am I trying to think of?
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I did like Sailor Moon, and I like DBZ. DBZ was kind of like a hit or miss for me because like I go through like really long periods just because like it depended on when I'd go to my grandparents and which grandparent I was with. Like if I got to watch DBZ or not. So like I'd miss like weeks at a time, like just like 6 or 5 episodes, and then not know what the hell was going on. But I still liked it.
Hey, you can come
Same
back
for
and
Sailor Moon.
Namek was still a lot. You know, it was still there.
Yeah, because like it was
5 minutes.
5 minutes. But I think probably the biggest ones would most definitely be Naruto. When I actually did start watching Naruto, because I didn't watch Naruto until the tuning exam arc, and then definitely Yu Yu Hakusho because like I like the atmosphere of that anime, and I don't know what it is because when you made me rewatch it, Shelly, or watch all of it like when I could remember what was happening in it actually, I loved it, and I just love the feeling of that anime. Like it gives me like good vibes.
That's why
Kind of
it's
like
my
how.
goat.
Kind of like how playing Final Fantasy 7 and 6 like and 8 give me good vibes. As far as anime films, I don't know if I can ever remember what it was, but it was like this underwater submarine film, and I don't know if it was anime or if it was
C-Lab
just animated.
2021.
Was that what it was?
I do need to go back and watch that. I feel like a lot of its specific brand humor was lost on me as a kid.
I know,
And,
right?
like every time I see that reaction image of the dude just like faking surprised, I'm like, yeah, I gotta go back and watch this entire thing.
What was that about?
I
Wait,
don't
Actually
know.
from a
There used to be a Hanna-Barbera show called C-Lab 2020, and then they made a spoof of it on Adult Swim called C-Lab 2021, where they just like added all adult jokes and shit.
Wasn't that reaction image like actually from a Star Trek comic though, or something like that?
I don't fucking know.
I remember like you and Quinn having that conversation, and then he pulled up the image and then the Google search. And
I'm sorry, it's like, what was that? Because it's doing the double thing.
'Cause I know they did this. They did the same thing to Space Ghost.
What were you saying, George?
I was talking about the particular reaction image.
Yeah, no, that was.
Yeah, no, I was asking, wasn't that from a Star Trek comic instead of C-Lab, or did he pull it up saying it was from a Star Trek comic?
Did I tell
It
you
was
guys
like
on
Full
stream
Metal
about my
Alchemist.
horror story about Full Metal Alchemist?
No.
I really wanted to watch Full Metal Alchemist because my friends kept like jizzing about it like when I was in elementary school.
Did you know what jizzing was in elementary school?
No, I didn't.
You assume
But-
they were like jazzing about it. Right?
No one
Like,
knew what
it's-
anything was in elementary school. We just thought we did. We were like, so where do I pee on the girl? That was what we were like because we knew nothing. Anyway, but like the first episode of Full Metal Alchemist I watched was the one where Nina got turned into like the Chimera. And that was the one where everybody was like on edge and like it was really tense and stressful and everybody was angry and sad about something. And it scared the absolute hell out of me when I watched that as like a 7-year-old.
Don't love your dog.
So I never watched Full Metal Alchemist again because I was like, this is a scary thing. I don't want to watch a scary thing. It freaks me out. I remember when Toonami did that thing about Tom's dead. Like that scared me every time I saw that on TV because it was just him screaming, getting eaten on screen. I didn't like that.
I don't remember that. Are you sure that wasn't like a nightmare?
No, it happened. There was a whole like series on Toonami where like it was like Tom died because
of
his
the Invasion series and then Immersion and all
Wait,
that.
so
other
which
stuff.
part was the nightmare?
What are you
Which part
talking about?
was
The
that?
nightmare? I'm not. I didn't have a nightmare.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I was
well,
asking.
because you said nightmare, so we thought we would get a nightmare story out of this.
No, like it was a nightmare because like it was a horror story because like I watched Full Metal Alchemist and it was the Nina Tucker episode and it fucked me up.
So it was a living nightmare, not
Yeah.
a.
Not a sleep nightmare, like give me bad dreams kind of thing.
I want my money back.
No.
I mean, here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, two viewers.
It's that easy. I think no, one of them is not me. Anyway,
I think our online presence is starting to get a bit more.
this is because
Yeah,
we
it's-
advertise every stream we do.
Well, I just sent a link to like 2 people and was like, "Hey, just leave this open in a tab, please," and it worked.
But yeah,
It's like talking to girls. You have to like make them think you're not actually interested. You know, that's how that works.
I feel like that's how it works sometimes. But
Yeah, never let them know you're too interested, Brian.
yeah, I don't,
Yep.
let's not talk about that. Anyway,
It's not a like or anything, Baka.
so this is something that Shelley suggested, and I made it. Oh, we didn't even go over like George, like, and Shelly, what were your anime, old school anime that you're into?
Jesus, Brian, get it together.
Oh,
I just thought you guys had gone. I just completely forgot.
Yu Yu Hakusho, because it's my goat. Zoids Chaotic Century, because I love that shit.
Well, which one did you like better?
Zoids
Chaotic Century for the story,
but New Century Zero for everything else.
Fights. Yeah. I was really into that Inuyasha stuff, you know, Kagome, Inuyasha, all that, shelling for each other. Finally finished that after years. Finally got a conclusion to that story.
Again, you have to like not let them know, George.
Oh, in Zatch Bell.
Yeah, that was the shit back in the day. And it didn't even get finished.
I know.
appreciate it until I was older.
What that?
Like, I
Whoa.
don't know, like maybe 7 years ago, I was rewatching Zatch Bell. I was like, where's the rest of it?
Yep, no, that never came to us.
Gotta read the manga, bro.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, I tried to read it, and I think I got like 30 chapters in. I was like, I can't. Like, Full Metal Alchemist was the only manga I think that like I've legitimately picked up on a whim and just like blazed through immediately. Besides, no, I take that back. Berserk and Kame ga Kill and Ozaki no Ano. Nozaki no Ano.
Hey.
That shit will tear you up inside.
Oh, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Because friendship is for the weak.
That had no context, and that made no sense, but thank you.
Well, I guess mine. Definitely Ronin Warriors when I was younger.
Never go back and watch Ronin Warriors. It'll ruin everything.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone back to. I appreciated it for what it was at the time, and I watched like one episode since then, and I'm like, nope, we're just gonna leave it in my memory.
You keep what you remember, George.
Yeah.
You know what?
I've never seen it.
You should never go back to Cyber 009.
Oh yeah, no.
Brian, if you're gonna watch it, you have to go back in time like 15 years.
You have to regress in age.
Because it'll be so cool then.
Yeah, definitely that 009 at the time, but like Drew said, definitely never go back to 009.
I'm so sad because I remember that being like the hypest shit.
Right.
And then I went back and I binged it and I was like, this is gonna be amazing. And oh my god. It's not it.
Hamtaro.
There you go, George. I forgot Card Captors Sakura.
Oh god. I never even got to watch enough of that.
I kind of want to screen share that video now.
Zoi's New Century Zero and
The Pokemon anime. I'm pretty sure we all watched that. Talking about old anime.
We all watched it, but I don't think that. I feel like that was like very obviously like just like marketing and advertisement, and it wasn't its own contained story.
okay.
What was?
To be fair,
Pokemon.
No.
I mean, they put Meryl in the Gen 1, like...
yeah. I mean, no, they do that
Digimon
for
in that.
exposure and to get people hyped. But in all fairness, Pokemon was actually, like early Pokemon was actually something 4Kids had a pretty okay handle on. In spite of all like the localization screw ups, like the infamous Jelly Donut, the banned episodes and everything, like
The band Porygon episode became like...
well, I mean, yeah.
That became
It's a
like
day
joke
that'll
for my
live in
friends high
infamy.
school. It became like a joke for me and my friends in high school, where we just used Porygon as a verb to like mean freaking out about something, like half terrified, half erect, like just ready to lose your shit.
Porygon.
Like I just Porygon all over the place.
Jesus. I'm gonna steal that, Drew. Thank you.
Okay. Don't give credit to me. Give credit to 2011 me. They're different people.
I understand.
I hope anyways. Also, Digimon was really great back in the day.
Digimon was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, Digimon's anime beat the pants off the Pokemon anime.
Yes, it did.
Oh yeah, yeah, it did. And every step of the way.
One?
I do need to catch up on Try. Like I'm not done with that yet.
I haven't watched Try yet.
Yeah, those last 4 episodes of Try, well, before these new ones come out, was like that pulled on the heartstrings, bro.
I heard.
Dude, I'm the guy that like laughs, cries at like Winnie the Pooh cartoons. Anything will get my heartstrings.
Good, that innocence. Real talk. I used to watch a bunch of like low key, not really watched by people our age back in the day. I would watch it on other channels, like when G4 would show anime like one night a week, or when Stars Movie Channel had like that one channel for anime and stuff, or that time Gurren Lagann came on Sci-Fi in like 2000 something, early 2000 something. But
that happened.
Yeah, that happened. Some of the stuff I enjoyed then was on the movie channel. I enjoyed watching the Street Fighter 2 anime.
See, I've seen that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw little snippets of it.
That's the American animation, Drew.
Oh, that's different?
Yeah, there's a different thing.
How many are there?
There's a Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2V, and then there's the like American Street Fighter cartoon. Because
okay, good. So there's obviously a Capcom anime industry. So
yeah, no, because that's how you get the Street Fighter anime, the Beautiful Joe anime, which was awful. Never watch it. DMC anime, people say it's awful. I like it. Sengoku Basara, that's all Capcom anime.
It's like when you realize that there is such a thing as the Hanna-Barbera WWE extended cinematic universe. Yes. But I just heard it on a second ago. That's not from like my childhood, like Toonami, but that was like the beginning of my anime renaissance. Like I kind of just watched stuff on Toonami as a kid, and then I didn't really fuck with anime for a couple years. And then I saw a bunch of Gurren Lagann stuff floating around everywhere around like 2010. I was like, oh, what is this? I'm gonna watch it. And that is still my favorite anime to this day. Like,
I still don't want to watch it.
I watched that because I watched it. That's when I started just binging all these other series. So that was like my awakening as a weeboo, I guess. I should never say that again. But Gurren Lagann is amazing.
Shelly, it's your fault that I'm a fucking weeb now.
hooray!
Because I loved Naruto, but I didn't watch the anime anymore because like what I did is I watched like all the sub for like part 1, and then when I caught up to part 2, I was like, oh well, I'm gonna start watching it now. Just start reading. Yeah. And then Shelly got me to watch Attack on Titan, and it was just a downward spiral from there.
Yeah, no, but
I thought it was a weeb, and then I met George.
He uses Japanese.
And then George got my ass into fucking Persona, and then I just went deeper and deeper into hell.
See, I'd watch Gurren Lagann, but it has mechs in it.
You know, you're not the first person to say that, and everybody always says it in the exact same way, and I'm really confused. It's always
I'm not.
I watch it, but I don't like mech anime, or I'm not a mech person, and I'm not saying you gotta be like me and be willing to fuck a robot. I just don't get how robots in anime is an automatic turnoff.
I just don't like robots. There's only 3 anime I like with robots: Iron Blooded Orphans and 2 Zoid series.
Hey,
see, I liked Gundam Wing when it was on because I thought it was cool, but like
yeah, I was gonna say tangent.
That was
Iron Blooded.
That was
in any kind.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Iron Blooded Orphans isn't even really about the mechs. Like it's
about the characters. Like that's the thing. Like if it's just about the mechs and like jizzing about like how cool the mechs are to sell toys, the anime suffers, and you can tell. And like that's why I don't want to like fuck with Gurren Lagann, because it seems like it has a solid story and solid characters, like at the very least, but like it's still mostly about the mechs and how cool the mechs are, and I'm just not interested in it.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you a little bit, because like it's really, really character driven. The
I was about to say,
with the exception of the titular Gurren Lagann, pretty much every other mech is just kind of their monster of the week. Only shows up in like the last like 30 seconds of the episode, and even then, it's not really in the same vein of other mech anime. Like Big O, for example, you kind of know what Big O is going to do, and then you're like, oh man, he's going to do the thing with like the piston punch, and that's cool. And I get how that could be a little monotonous after a while.
Big O is what got me started on it.
Right, but like, the thing about Gurren Lagann is it's all about just doing whatever the hell you want. Like, the actual core source of energy in the show is just the ability to be like, "Ayo, fuck physics," and so really, just Gurren Lagann shows up and does a drill thing, but it's always like the weirdest, most "I can't believe this is happening" kind of drill thing. It's not one of those things that you get really excited over, like the specifications of the machines, like you would, like, say, Star Wars Extended Lore. You know, the mech's just kind of there because they want the fights to be at like a slightly larger scale than humanoid.
Shelly, I was gonna ask, does your interest in Iron-Blooded Orphans spur you in some? And I guess it's also a question for Brian too, but I kind of already figured what Brian's answer is going to be. Does your interest in Iron-Blooded Orphans spur you to look into any other series in the Gundam universe?
I already watched one.
Any other series in the Gundam universe?
I watched one last year. It came out. It was like a 4-episode one. It was Gundam Thunderbolt. It was really beautiful.
Okay.
I like the story a lot.
Someone's mic's acting up and it's killing me.
It's not this one.
It's Shelly's.
It's probably mine. I was kind of toying around with it.
Stop. But
and like it was like just the music was based around jazz, so it was like really cool.
Yeah, like watching Iron-Blooded Orphans makes me want to go back and like rewatch like the popular Gundams, like Gundam Wing and whatnot. Like, even though I know that they're old and like dated, I want to like see them again with fresh eyes.
G Gundam boys.
I do like G Gundam.
See, I hated Big O so much. I hate the Iron Giant.
I like the Iron Giant. The Iron Giant's a good movie.
Way about the Iron Giant.
Big O, I can understand if you don't like it, because that one, the plot sure is a thing that exists, I think. And then other than that, you're just interested in Big O being a cool robot. Yeah, don't let what Big O did to its mecha dissuade you from watching something like Gurren Lagann, because I promise you, they treat the presence of mechs very differently. Like, you're not just wading through a whole bunch of bullshit to hope for a semi-entertaining mech fight. Like, the whole thing is fucking crazy, and then the mech fight's just the icing on the cake.
Oh yeah, I like Power Rangers too, so I guess there's some mech in there.
That's not a mech, that's a Sentai.
I know.
Tokusatsu.
It's like half a mech.
Tell you what, did you watch Kill la Kill, either one of you?
I did.
I didn't like Kill la Kill.
Yeah, you like Kill la Kill because it was like crazy, right?
I didn't like Kill la Kill.
I liked Kill la Kill because it was over the top animation, yeah.
Right. That's Gurren Lagann. I mean, it's the same studio. Like, literally, you just take it out of your head that it's going to be all about the mechs, and if that's why you like Kill la Kill, that's why you like Gurren Lagann.
Well, let's move into the next topic.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we circle jerked enough. They're not going to watch Gurren Lagann. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. I'll watch Gurren Lagann eventually because it's there, but it just won't be today. Because today's almost done. So, top 5 shonen moments, and this doesn't have to be a top 5, and I'm saying that now as an executive decision because
I mean, that's
we
not
have
what it
lots
was
of
anyway.
topics to talk about. Yeah. And we also have Kingdom Hearts to talk about, Drew, and that's big. And this will probably be the 3rd podcast in a row we don't do the character matchup we've had planned. So, top
George,
5
just pick a new
shonen
character.
All right, so my top 5, real quick. Frieza Final Form versus Goku. That entire fight and conclusion, that's number 5. Shit, this is really hard when you don't make up the list before time. This is why I always told you guys to do this. I'm not following my own advice.
You're not.
I really, really, really like that recent Mikazuki fight from Iron Blooded Orphans. That's moved up in the list. Jesus, this is tough. I'll just make it a top 3, and this isn't necessarily my actual top 3. I'm just naming off stuff now. I love it when Luffy, and spoilers by the way, like when Luffy faces off against the 3 admirals in Marineford. That gives me goosebumps every time I watch that. Like it's intense, and it goes so horribly. And I love oh god, what's my favorite moment in Hunter x Hunter now? Because that's the one, isn't it? I'd have to say, like, my favorite moment from Hunter x Hunter is when Killua goes Godspeed for the first time, and it's at the ending of the episode right before he transforms, and he throws down a bolt of lightning. He's like, I'm really sorry for what's about to happen, but I'm in a really shitty move. And he just kind of like swaggers down like into like a giant crater that he just made. And then the ending plays, and it was awesome. And I loved it.
Are you talking about when Killua went Super Saiyan 2?
Yeah. Where he's just walking, he got like this swagger to his step, and then the next episode he's doing the same thing, and all of a sudden his hair just goes like, whoo, and he gets lit up by electricity. Oh god, it's great. What about you, Shelly?
Yeah, we're just doing top 3, right?
We're top 3, top 4, whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be the top ones necessarily. I just came up with moments.
I just kind of went off the top of my head. When Yusuke was training with Genkai in the cave to assimilate her spirit orb into his body. That's one of my favorite moments from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's a really powerful moment.
I would have thought you said when Kuwabara faked out his own death.
No, he faked out his own death.
Which is brilliant, by the way. Like, it fits the character. Like, I wasn't even mad when I figured out it was bullshit.
Go Dragon Ball Z when the fight during the Majin Buu saga between Goku and Vegeta, 'cause that fight was just awesome. And then Vegeta blew himself up.
I'm glad he died.
And then in One Piece on Sabaody, when you meet Kizaru for the first time, and it's just like that entire sequence of him just doing shit.
Just absolutely destroying
Just
the entire...
destroying everybody.
Yeah. No one was ready. Okay, George, what about you?
Bro, Rock Lee versus Gaara, first and foremost.
Hell yeah.
I was going to say that, but I was like, he's probably going to say it. There you go, Brian.
You know I'm going to say it.
Fuck. Hold on, what'd you send me, Shelly? Hold on. Keep going, George. Oh, yeah. I need that in my reaction images.
Hmm.
There's got to be a Bleach moment in there.
There has most definitely got to be a Bleach moment in there.
Is it when Aizen stopped his sword? I bet it's when Aizen stopped his sword.
Nah.
That's one of my favorite Bleach moments.
Is it when Ichigo activated his full bring?
I actually did really enjoy that moment.
Is it when Ichigo one-shot at Yuha Bak?
No, actually.
Is it when Renji got it?
Rukia's Bankai.
I liked that. That one was pretty hype. And it was...
Because it's like the whole time, like, you come to understand Rukia. You know that she's capable, but also people keep having to look out for her and save her. Maybe not to the same extent as Orihime, but still, you see the potential there, but it falls short at every moment. And then the moment she activates her Bankai, it's like, oh, you're trying to invoke fear in me. Well, I can't fear anything if I'm basically dead. And then, like, freezes her body to, like, well below zero temperature and well below absolute zero and kills this guy and causes him to feel fear. And I felt like that was a huge come up. I mean, everybody was getting come ups this arc because they were rushing Kubo to finish, and so he had to like give as many people Bankai as possible. But yeah.
Not that one guy.
Not that one guy. Rip that guy.
Who was like, I don't
even
think of so much bullshit in my life.
Yeah, like this is just a tangent real quick, but Bleach, I don't remember their names. There's too many people, and they're too Japanese. I'm never gonna remember all their names.
That's your fault, you weeb.
I'm sorry.
Some weeb you are.
That's how we are with Keijo names, because me and my group of Smash friends all watch Keijo together, and like if we had a waifu, we memorized their names, and everybody else it was whatever. I still have no idea what the main character's name is. We just called her Goku the whole time.
Nozomi.
You call it Goku.
Yeah, she's just Goku with tits. And then we remembered other girls just by their like special technique. What's the redheaded chick's name? The soft girl. That's right. Nobody knows. We just call her soft.
That's what I did for Toradora.
Because I didn't know.
What is it? I don't know really.
Because I don't remember any of the people's names in Toradora besides like the two main leads, and I would just call the pink-haired girl Pinky, and subsequently every pink-haired girl besides Yuno Gasai became Pinky.
Okay. My third moment, shot in left field. It's I don't remember at what point this happens. I think it's Diamond and Pearl anime when Chimchar evolves in the fight against Electabuzz.
I never thought a Pokemon moment would make it on here.
I see, now that I'm thinking about that, I'm really remembering how much I loved when Lugia showed up in 2000.
Yeah. You got Chimchar Chimchar's in the same situation as every one of Ash's starters, where it's just given up by somebody. Oh, I don't want them anymore. Oh, they're weak or whatever. Chimchar's dealing with this rivalry it had with Electabuzz back when it belonged to Paul. And then just mid-match, what made it for me was that it involves in a Monferno on the spot. And that first mock punch it throws at Electabuzz's stomach is like this weird, satisfying feeling. And I don't remember if that happens when it becomes like Chimchar to Monferno, or if it's like when it evolves from Monferno to Infernape. All I remember is that feeling when that punch landed and how great that looked animation-wise. I'm weak for like really good animation.
Could you imagine that in that new anime style right now?
My God! Shit! No, I'm not responding to you, Shelly. I just saw a gift on the group and I'm dying.
Which one?
Hold on. Hold on. This needs to be shared. Continue, George.
I will say for the Sun and Moon anime, Inferno Overdrive looked pretty good.
I don't know. I haven't watched any since then, really.
When out the first episode at the very end, when old guy God, I normally know his name, but I can't right now.
Just call him Goku.
Sure, whatever. But old dude he has this Turtonator use the Z move. What's his character's name? Why the heck does
Yes.
Why the heck does Justin have his default search engine set to Yahoo? This is a travesty.
Yahoo!
I'm just gonna tag you in this, guys, because I'm not on my phone and I can't just like share this post externally.
Okay. Is it a meme or a GIF?
If I can't copy it into the chat, and it won't let me share it either because of like this guy's settings in the group.
Okay, well, tag us in it.
Hold on, damn it, I'm typing.
Why is it taking you forever?
Because I can't type.
Jesus, this is just like Xenoverse 2.
Yeah, by the way, that game has been beaten into the ground.
Kioe. Or Kiao, however you say it. Yeah, no, Kioe. Okay, yeah, no. When he shows up at the end of the first Sun and Moon episode and he has his Turtonator use Inferno Overdrive, that looked pretty good. I would see a Rock Punch in Sun and Moon animation style if it looked like that. But yeah.
What about you, Drew?
Mention would just be anything from Sengoku Basara. Go ahead, Drew.
Okay, so you guys watched Super, right? Like
Yeah.
Super. Okay, Vegeta versus Kappa. I love the entire universe tournament art, but that fight right there is so great because you get to see a new Saiyan, which is really interesting. You get to see somebody go Super Saiyan for the first time, which is always like a really intense thing. And you get to see a side of Vegeta that you have never seen before. And it's just really cool, just in general, how much character development Vegeta gets. But like in this specific context with the whole Saiyan pride and everything, I love it. Also, he beat the shit out of that kid, and it was just
he did.
Wow.
But that was child abuse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat him like I beat my own kid.
Right.
Essentially.
And then the second fight is Joseph versus Cars. Am I spoiling for anybody if I talk about this fight?
We already tell people before they watch us that there's spoilers in this cast.
Yeah, so like this is one of the few fights in anime, especially in JoJo, that I was genuinely convinced that Joseph was just gonna die. Because I mean, we just got off of part 1 where they totally killed off Jonathan because they could, and then you have this dude that's like literally unbeatable and unkillable. And what part of you is going to even possibly predict that they're going to ring him out by launching him into space? You know. Also, it's one of the few times in all of part 2 where Joseph wins without a plan. Like, everything just magically falls into place, which is normally stupid, but when you have a character whose whole thing is having a plan from the start, like, the fact that the world was saved because they just got insanely lucky and they could just kind of... That was really interesting.
I did like that fight a lot.
Yeah.
Like that, I appreciate Joseph because of his brains,
He's really
not for his hum-on.
Especially when he's like riding right off the coattails of Jonathan, because Jonathan was not stupid, but Jonathan's skills were taking a punch really well and figuring shit out on the fly, and then Joseph is like the exact opposite, and seeing these two different sides of like being intelligent,
JoJoism.
but also JoJoism and Hamon. It was just really, they complete each other. If JoJo had ended in part 2, I would be okay with that. Not that I don't like the rest of it, but it would have still felt finished at the end of part 2. And then my third pick, I wasn't going to pick it at first, but I couldn't think of anything better because I really, really love this. Gurren Lagann gets remade into 2 movies. That the first movie just covers like everything pre-time skip, and then the second movie covers everything post-time skip. And they redo the final fight in the post time skip movie. And you might know this already, but when you get post time skip, they just start getting bigger and bigger robots until everything's like standing on top of galaxies. But at the very end of the movie remake, all of that gets destroyed, and the last bit of the fight is just a fist fight. Like a really well animated, no superpowers, just Simone beating the shit out of this alien. And it's really, really intense. There's like no music playing, just really loud, hard, punching sound effects, and it still feels good.
Well, let's see the next topic. Best romance in anime. Because it's winter and it's cuffing season, and people are doing the thing.
Cuffing season. Oh my god.
You remember that, George? I haven't heard that honestly since I was a freshman in high school.
The fuck is cuffing season?
I mean college.
I know, right?
It's been a long time.
Winter is cuffing season because the cold weather also makes it
What cold weather?
The phrase cuddle weather. So you get you a bag for when it gets cold. So you
And you
When
cuff
does
them.
it get cold?
warm somehow. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you handcuff them so that they won't leave you.
Well, considering I broke up with Taylor in October, which is like the very beginning of winter, I fucked up.
I'm in rebellion.
We've already missed it. It's summer again.
Yeah, it is summer again. It's raining now. It's
like
spring,
30,
bitch.
right? It's kind of cold.
Alabama.
Woo, global warming. But yeah, best romance in any anime.
Naruto,
Pikachu and
Hinata,
ketchup.
Of course.
We really shouldn't let you keep playing that all the time on stream, Shelly.
Why not?
Because every time it happens, it steals the show. But yeah, honest to God, I've said it before. Komugi and Meruem. Beautiful. Well crafted. Pure, innocent. Not full of any kind of lust. Just a general like connection. It's like a pure connection of souls, like of different like people all together who have like different mindsets from like the outgo, and it ends up beautifully well done. Very satisfying conclusion. Very very good beginning. Very good middle. It really propels the story like in a way that you wouldn't expect. Like you wouldn't expect a typical shonen to go, but that romance is like what completely makes like the entire like remainder of like the longest arc in Hunter x Hunter like just fantastic, because suddenly like characters are like good when they're not really meant to be seen as good initially, and the characters who were good initially seem like the assholes, and it throws your perspective for a loop, and that's why I love that romance so much, because it's just good for everything in that anime.
I'm sorry, Brian. I hate to be a deadbeat downer right now. That's not a romance. That was a friendship.
That was not a friendship. That was a romance. They love each other.
That was a friendship.
You know that they love each other.
You're shipping something that wasn't meant to be shipped.
It was meant to be shipped.
Sir.
It was meant to be shipped exactly like I'm saying.
No, it was a friendship.
If it was a friendship, they would have said, "I love you," like a brother. Or they would have said, "I love you," like a little sister.
I don't think Meruem knew what a little sister was.
I think he did.
I don't think he did.
I think he did. She kissed him.
Uh-huh.
A little bit too late, but she kissed him.
Uh-huh.
I know. God. Anyway, what's your favorite romance, George?
That's an actual romance.
Shut the fuck up. When I kill you.
You said
Just
an
go ahead
actual-
and say go ahead and say Juvia and Gray, please.
You, Narukami, and everyone.
That's what I was gonna say. You showed the actual romance, so I was like, dang, I can't take the persona route, can I?
No.
We're talking about all of them are canon. All of them.
All of them are canon.
No, tell you what, okay, if you don't want to do that, you can do the P3 one, because you can run Yukari, Elizabeth, and Aigis all at once.
I do like Minato's relationship with Aigis. Granted, that's not my favorite.
Would you a toaster? Yes.
I would not a toaster.
I
No,
would a toaster.
I know you would a toaster.
I would also an elevator attendant.
Oh, I would an elevator attendant all day, every day, like every moment of the day.
Yes.
She
man.
is Bay.
Nah, man, Margaret. But
You're allowed to be wrong. This is America.
I can't
Yeah.
help it if I like
You're
my
not allowed
wine
to be wrong.
age.
You can't be wrong.
I can't help it that I like my wine age.
I mean, they're not going to die, really.
I can't help it that I like my women in nice bowl cuts.
Also, you play Ultimax. Margaret suplexes people. I want that.
You just want people to suplex trains.
No,
Elizabeth can copy people.
I really
She
just
do
want Margaret to
whatever.
suplex me. My highlight of the Overwatch Winter Wonderland was getting the highlight where Widowmaker steps on your chest. That being said, because Persona is not an allowed option, and nor is Fire Emblem at this point, I suppose I will have to go with Juvia and Gray.
I
Because
fucking
that is-
knew it.
That is the closest. That is the well. You know what? No. I love it. It's my favorite. But C2 and Lelouch. Just because you want me to say Juvia and Gray, I will say C2 and Lelouch from Code Geass.
All right.
And you can't dispute it because you haven't seen it. Go watch
Exactly.
it.
Like I don't know why it's good, so this gives me a reason to watch it. If it's a good romance, then I'll do it. Okay, Drew. What about you?
Ryoko and Mako at the end of Kill la Kill. Like, it's brief. Well, I mean, I say brief. It only in the actual show at the very end, but, like,
Weren't
I
they
don't know. I've
gay?
always been the kind of person that, like, friendship that evolves into a relationship is the good shit. And, like, they were basically already married.
Yeah.
Like, their entire relationship dynamic was already worked out from the get-go, sans fucking. And then at the end, they're like, all right, we've been kind of doing this from the start, so let's just make it official. And no one contests it. It's good.
It's great because they're gay and they're beautiful and they're so precious.
They are. The only thing I feel bad about is Gamagori, because I felt
Yeah.
like he kind of like Mako and like all.
I appreciated him because he was my favorite character in the whole series, besides Satsuki. Satsuki, ooh.
Sasuke is a really, really great character.
The memories are coming back, and I'm just like, my queen. Come
George,
back.
you want to talk about people stepping on you?
Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. Just like prostrate myself in front of her.
Well,
Who said Kirito and Asuna?
who said that?
Someone on
I don't know.
Someone on the chat.
Oh my God, is it Ethan?
No. Caitlin Pittman.
She's in the group, isn't she?
I don't know.
She's friends with Brian.
No, she's a friend. She's a friend of mine. She's friend with me. She also said Edward and Winry to me, and Yuno and Yukiteru from fucking Future Diary.
Well, I believe those romances way more than I believe Meruem and Komugi.
I mean, well, fuck off. First of all, but you know,
First of all,
Edward and Winry was probably a good second one for me. If I had to pick like a runner-up, And then I can't put Squall and Renoa because that's not anime. Okay, George, what about you? Did I say no? Shelly, what about you?
Wait, George, who did you pick?
I said Lelouch in C2 despite Brian while holding Juvia and Gray in my heart.
And Drew, who did you pick?
Ryoko and Mako.
Well, I'm gonna pick the obvious choice here, and this is the best couple: Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha. She's so loved.
I like how everything just blew up as soon as he said
Wait a
that.
minute. I don't want to hear his justification. Go and check on virus.
Drew legit just left the room.
He knows he's trolling, right?
I'm trolling so hard.
Get him back now. I won't lose
Right.
this Kingdom Hearts thing. George, you get him fucking back. We're doing this Kingdom Hearts topic tonight.
She loved
Okay, Brian, you.
I was just playing it up.
She loved
keep it
him
together.
so much that she was willing to die 5 times.
Five
Fives.
Flowers, no, you declined. You refused.
Like, this bitch got, like, hypnotized and, like,
Justin,
Genjutsu'd.
you
I don't know how many
refuse.
times.
Oh.
When you die 5 times, let me tell you.
Oh no, I'm gonna go with Inuyasha and Kagome because there
And
you
then
go.
Brian, not Brian, and then Drew leaves again.
I was about to.
Kagome!
Why didn't you say Kikyo? That's a better romance than fucking Kagome and Inuyasha.
Yeah, that one's so convoluted, and no, it's not.
I liked it just because I like Kikyo. She's the best character in that anime. So
No,
much that they wouldn't kill her.
Shishomaru is the best character in that anime.
I take that back. Shishomaru and Rin are the best characters in the anime. You know what? Jockin, let's throw him in there too. Best characters. They should have been the main characters. I would have watched an anime about them.
I'd watch an anime just about Shishomaru. Just going around saying nothing, just doing shit. It could be just like Samurai Jack, which is getting a revival.
But yeah. Anyway, next topic.
The moment we've all been waiting for?
No. One Piece Film Gold. Do you guys want to go see that together? If I can do that? Because I think it comes out on the 10th.
I mean, I won't know what's going on, but I
I won't know what's going on right now.
And One Piece
I
Film
won't
Gold.
know what's going on just because I stopped all One Piece related media back in 2008.
I was just saying so we could get like the C&C Bros together, and I could see you guys again since I haven't seen you in like 6+ months.
George, you gotta pick the One Piece back up.
It's just too long. It's too far.
George, if you can get through Fairy Tail, you can get through One Piece.
I haven't been keeping up with fairy tale stuff either. Like,
But you're farther.
2 chapters after the Juvia thing happened, I just haven't been keeping up.
When Juvia died, and I said Juvia would be back in 2 chapters, and then
And she's back in 1.
And then Eileen did a Poochie, did a Made in Heaven for like the entire fairy tale universe, and so I just stopped because obviously like part 7's gonna.
No, what Eileen did is she explained Eris's backstory, and I'm spoiling the hell out of Fairy Tail. So if anybody's watching this right now and wants to get the hell out of Dodge, like you feel free to do it for like 5 minutes.
I'm gonna take the headphones off. I might actually watch that someday. Tell me when I can put it back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eileen basically like she was giving her backstory, and so she was like turning into a dragon because she was using the dragon's magic.
No, you good.
Okay, good. Okay, so she was using the dragon's magic like back in the day because she's like back from Zareth times, she used too much of it, and she started turning into a dragon because she invented Dragon Slayer magic, right? And she tapped into it too much, and the danger of being a Dragon Slayer is that you'll eventually turn into a dragon. That's what this new fairy tale movie is about. By the way, there's a new fairy tale movie.
Wait, what's the fairy tale movie about?
It's called Dragon or Draco something, but basically it's about no, but what it is that every Dragon Slayer at some point if their dragon mentors didn't intervene and go inside them, as we saw at the end of the Tartaros arc, if they didn't put their souls inside them, they turn into dragons themselves. And the fairy tale movie explores what if Natsu went full dragon and became Acnologia for a little bit. And I don't know how canon it is. I don't know. Anything that puts Natsu in an evil role makes me want to watch it because he's already kind of a villain. This sounds like a horrible
idea because Natsu never has character development.
Exactly.
I don't see him getting any from this.
That's why I want to watch it to see if he
Even
does.
Though it's
a
perfect opportunity to do it.
And I don't know if it's going to be canon or not because it could be the conclusion to the series. I have no idea. Because the series is about to end. But anyway, Eileen made Dragon Slayer magic. She started turning into a dragon, and then when Acnologia won the war, back a long time ago, her fiance that she was married to in a political marriage, because she started turning into a dragon, imprisoned her and started beating her while she was pregnant with Urza, and so she's getting tortured every single day, and so she stopped the pregnancy from happening. She basically froze the baby's development in her uterus, and then he tried to cut it out of her stomach, and then she turned into a full-on dragon, and then basically she was I want to be human, and she couldn't deliver the baby because she was a dragon, and then she found Zeref in the woods, and Zeref's hey, I turn you back into a human in physical form only, but you're still a dragon. So she's got Alphonse disease, where she can't eat or sleep. She can't taste anything she eats. She can't sleep ever, and she's going insane. And then she has this moment oh shit, I've got a baby inside me, a fresh human body. I'm gonna put my consciousness in that baby and kill it, and then steal its body. And she tries to, and that's why Urza looks like her and is super fucking strong because she fucked up. And now Drew can come back in. Birth by Sleep was an amazing game. Yes,
Brian,
it's safe.
Brian, I came across this right when you said cut it.
Also, Steven Universe is hella.
Wait, what did you say?
Okay, but
Can Drew
what's the use of feeling blue is a good song.
Yeah, it is. I watched all 5 of those episodes yesterday. It was fantastic.
Shelly said yes, it is, and he watched all 5 of those episodes yesterday. I forgot Shelly does also
Damn, Shelly.
That's because I can't find a reliable fucking video player.
Show that to George.
It's on Kiss Cartoon. Tell him it's on Kiss Cartoon.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm trying it at Zam's house and video players.
Yeah, video playback over here is kind of wonky.
Yeah.
Also,
George, look in the chat.
It's safe for you to put the headphones back on.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian, stop talking about Eileen.
I'm done.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay, I had the headphones on.
Whoo. Yeah, that's a thing.
That's accurate.
See that thing I posted before that?
Like George, I'm just scrolling down Twitter, and Brian says "cut it," and that's what comes up.
You need to cut it. All this Road to Boruto stuff being covered on SRK, and I thought SRK only covered fighting games.
Fuck off.
He doesn't consider it a fighting game because he's never beaten me in it.
Because he can't beat me either, hardly.
I think you've only beat me
twice. You
once or twice.
I beat you inebriated too.
Who?
I beat George. Remember that time I was drunk off my ass and George got the controller and I was like, "Play me, George." He's like, "No, Brian." And I was like, "No, come on, I want to play you." And he's like, "All right." And I used little Naruto and I beat his ass.
To be fair, you were both drunk.
He was not drunk. He was much less drunk than me.
I don't know. I'm still remembering it differently than you, and I was sober
I know.
because I don't get drunk.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into the Kingdom Hearts topic because I got to get that done because I'm getting sleepy.
See me on Netplay Scrub.
I only do Storm, sir.
Actually, we're already in the Kingdom Hearts topic because, like, the only piece of news I have on here left is P5 is not going to be on the Switch. Confirmed.
Yeah, no shit. It's exclusive to PlayStation.
It is not exclusive to PlayStation. It is now, though.
No, it's been exclusive to PlayStation.
At what point was it even speculated to? I read that and I was like,
because
why is this
Atlas
even here?
because the Switch, when they announced this, like, third parties for the Switch, like Atlas's name
makes
was
more
on it.
games for Nintendo than just Persona, Brian.
I know, and people were assuming that they might get a port of Persona 5 on the Switch, and that might be a selling point.
No, the Persona series is exclusive to PlayStation.
Except for, you know,
I was like,
the Arena Ultimate.
Well, yeah, except for that one.
Q.
Yeah, but
And I mean, what is Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but just Persona?
Yeah, I feel you on that. But, and I'm not saying this to argue, I'm just saying, like, but Arena and Ultimax are more Arc System Works games anyway, just making use of the Persona franchise to sell. And PQ, we'll talk about PQ. Oh, that? Yeah, no, that looks weird.
Oh, wait, I have a piece of news.
So,
what?
Girl Meets
Are you pregnant?
Girl Meets World just got canceled.
Really?
What?
Yeah, they canceled it. Disney Channel canceled their best show. Like idiots.
Wait, did it start already?
Yeah, no, it's
on its third season.
What the fuck? I've never heard anything about it.
Yeah, like the
Are
first
they-
season,
I heard it when they
The
were
first
talking
season-
about it.
the first season was kind of and then the second season like started bringing back people and you liked it more, and then they started like doing some stupid shit. But I still liked it more than the other Disney Channel shit.
Well,
Huh.
listen, are they moving it to Freeform?
I don't think so because
That would probably be the best move for them because then they can get like a more mature storyline because the girls are growing up.
because they need that to
Yeah,
happen.
I have that.
Is it good?
Like that's the same dilemma that Disney Channel used to have with old Boy Meets World because they couldn't show half of it because it was adult.
Okay, here's the messed up part about
God, I love Boy Meets World so much.
It's great.
Topanga!
Best anime.
it's like weird HD textures you have to like replace Mark's PAC files with or something that's like that. Because that's how Kuro does all this stuff. Now these actually might be skins.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing some very high-tech technical jargon that I honestly don't understand. I think it's for a fighting game, but George and Drew will do what they do because they know this language and I don't. It's honestly like Greek to me. I know very little about anything related to such a thing. I remember when I tried to do competitive Pokemon, and I tried to learn the lingo and how people raise things, and I just said that this is just a painstaking process, and I hated it. But here we are now, and I'm still trying to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's like, if you got Dolphin, this will be easy peasy, but nah, if you're running this on console, you gotta kill some people.
I'm sorry, I want to play Smash with the game controller.
Well, Dolphin has native
I don't think they
adapter
can
support.
Until the meantime,
No, I heard you.
I'll just keep talking to you guys.
Yeah, keep talking to us like that. It's not creepy in the slightest.
Sorry.
It's all right. Just take a moment and deep breaths and focus on what's important in life.
God, Brian, stop.
Everyone, think good names.
All right. So, Drew, you wanted to talk about Kingdom Hearts
No.
a while back.
No. You
Yes,
wanted to, and you were interested in what his thoughts and opinions were.
but you told me, George, that Drew wanted to give some info about Roxas. He wanted to talk about Roxas specifically.
I didn't say he wanted to get. I said he had this brilliant. What would I call it? He gave some brilliant
dissection
exposition on Roxas's character.
Why are we talking about Drew like he's not here? Drew, you're here. Defend yourself.
Drew's not here. I don't remember any of this.
I said he had some really good stuff on Roxas that I think you should hear. And then you were like, okay, get him. And I said, I'll try. I didn't guarantee you anything.
And that was like 2 months ago, and here we are.
Dude, that was like 3 months ago.
I'm pretty bad about doing this.
And then it turned into you just wanting to hear his sweet, sultry voice.
And then it turned when it was really just me wanting to talk about Kingdom Hearts on stream.
So what was I saying that was so brilliant? This is like half me not being able to remember, and then the other half just like.
Well, it started off with the statement that like the one thing you liked about Dream Drop is that it gave you an iteration of not Dream Drop about 358 Days is that it gave you an iteration of Sora that you actually liked, i.e. Roxas. And then you went on to give like this, because you and I went on to have that really good discussion about why Sora only has character development in the form of Roxas.
Yeah, I think I remember something like that. Basically, and I'm just going to kind of try to reconstruct it based on what I think I would have said.
I understand.
But, yeah, Roxas, because, like, for the longest time, and I blame it partially on the way the game is written, most people don't really get what nobodies are, what Roxas is in relation to Sora, where it's like, we think he's a different person, partially because of the whole thing with having Vince as his heart, and partially because he can't remember being Sora, and then Sora can't remember being Roxas, although I haven't played Dream Drop yet, but I heard he eventually gets Roxas's memories. But one of the really interesting things about Roxas, and I'm speaking mostly from the perspective of Kingdom Hearts 2, but you don't really get to appreciate Kingdom Hearts 2's Roxas as much until you play through Days.
358, because then you go back and you're like, holy shit, this game's sad.
Right. Like, I'll never forget the first time I picked Kingdom Hearts 2 back up after having beat Days. Like, that was some shit. Holy crap, that fucked me up. One of the interesting things about Roxas is that if you stop looking at him as this separate character that happens to have his fate intertwined with Sora, it's actually just Sora without any of his memories being put into like a new situation. It's basically this thing where you get to see what Sora would have been like growing up somewhere else, and it gives him such a different air. You know, Roxas is so much more serious than Sora, and has like such a broader emotional vocabulary than Sora because he's been through so much shit, even when he can't remember. Like, that's one of the things that kills me about Sora in Kingdom Hearts 1. Okay, Kingdom Hearts 1 is great because Kingdom Hearts 1 is all about just like childhood wonder and like the sense of exploration and youthful adventures and all that stuff. But that just doesn't translate in Kingdom Hearts 2 because by Kingdom Hearts 2, we're trying to have a much more like serious story about,
it became
like,
anime.
Yeah. But Roxas is a really good example of like how Sora could have adapted to that. And where was I going with this? Basically, it's less sad now when I think about it that Roxas has to give up being Roxas to be Sora, because really what it is Roxas just gets to remember being Sora again. Even if he kind of forgets being Roxas in the process, like, I don't know. It was just a really interesting way to give Sora some growth and character development without actually giving Sora any growth and character development. And it's something you don't see a lot. It's like this whole thing of not what do you become now, but let's look at what you could have been if you had grown up differently. And in understanding that, you learn more about who you are just deep down outside of all those external factors. And I don't know, is it the best way to define and shape a character? Not really, but it's just really interesting and different.
And I agree with you.
When 2 first came out.
I do agree with you to an extent that it is interesting, because what I love about Days, specifically, like, and it is Roxas's character, like his character, and seeing him go from like basically like with the mindset of like an infant, to like having been through all that shit when he's really technically only a year old. Like he's got like the emotional capacity of like an 18 or 19-year-old by the end of the game, and he's been grizzled because of like all this shit that he's had to deal with. And I've always thought of Roxas as his own person because he didn't have any memories. He was empty.
Yeah.
And people constantly say that, like, oh, Roxas's heart isn't his, it's Ventus's. I think that my belief, and this is just from what we hear in Dream Drop, that like all living things can have a heart, and that nobody's eventually grow their own hearts back because they're compensating. Basically, like their bodies or like their hearts or whatever's happening are overcompensating, so they end up like creating their own unique personalities again. Whoever's phone that is, please.
George is too popular.
But I think I've always liked to look at Roxas as like not like a clone of Ventus and not just holding Ventus's heart inside of him. I like to imagine him as like, honestly, as a blank slate, like a blank slate that has some physical characteristics and connection to Sora. And the thing about that, and that's appealing about that line of thought to me, is that he is his own person, and that throughout Days, he slowly begins to learn like what it is to be human, but ironically, like through people who aren't necessarily human, like they've lost the ability to be human. But he and Shion, because Shion and him like develop their own unique personalities very like strongly.
Yeah.
Because Shion's like getting all the memories and she's getting like the raw emotions of it. And while she may not have like a fully developed heart, like Roxas by the end of Days has a fairly complex heart, and they talk about that like they show that through him crying, and him getting him actually showing it like true emotion and tears and having like a true response, because like some of that shit like is just reactionary, and like say like it's like a knee-jerk reaction, like say like he was prompted to like be in a situation where he'd be sad or surprised or angry, and he gets irritated. But I think that that's just him emulating memories and things that he feels from like his dreams about Sora and whatnot, and things that he picks up from Shion. But he doesn't actually like have his own voice and opinion until Shion's dead. Yeah. Because I think that that's when his heart like became fully fleshed out, or around that time, like he had like his own thoughts, emotions, and he could choose his own path. Because before then, he was basically like on a rail shooter, basically. Yeah. He didn't have any branching options. He didn't have much of a choice. He didn't think about like the bigger picture. And it wasn't until he left the organization and he was like confronted with the idea of like Sora's a connection to me, and I need to find out more about myself. And he started thinking about things like that were beyond him, and he developed a conscience and a heart, that he became a full-fledged person. And I always that was the tragedy of Days for me. Like that's why that game's beautifully written, because like you're watching this kid, this baby, grow up over the course of a year, and you get to know him. Like, and people always criticize Days for like, it's just about them sitting up there eating ice cream. They're just telling me what friendship is, yada yada yada, like things I already know. Like, people don't understand. Like, he doesn't know, and he has no point of comparison when he delivers his like famous, infamous one-liner, like who else will I eat ice cream with? I tell people who hear that the first time, they're like, what? I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, that is friendship to Roxas. Like, that is his reason for living. Like, he goes to work so that he can go get his time off with his friends and he can eat ice cream. That's what he looks forward to. He doesn't look forward to working. He doesn't even have any personal time to himself, really. He can't spend a day of vacation by himself, almost. He just wants to be with his friends.
I don't know. He managed to get like 7.
Yeah. Without his friends, when he thought he had friends, but he really didn't. But I was like, that's all he knows. So him giving that line, like, that just shows you how naive and how much of a child he really is. And the tragedy of it, much like Ventus's tragedy, is that like they're both like innocent, and they didn't need to be put in the situations that they were in, but they're forced to grow up and like drop a pair, basically, because they got dealt a shitty hand and they met it beautifully. And Ventus's is more noble, I think, because like in his situation, it's more of self-sacrifice. He just wanted to make sure that his friends are okay, and he didn't give a shit if he fucked himself up in the process. Roxas's was, I'm gonna fucking murder everyone to get my life back. And I love that. I love the anti-hero shtick and that trope, because that's good character development. That's good writing. I think that he's more of a he is what Sora could have been if Sora was written to be a more serious character, because Roxas gets most of the anime tropes and Sora just gets like the Natsu tropes of anime.
Yeah.
And Sora does get character development. I'm not trying to say that like he's a shitty character, but Sora's is much more muted, and it's more about him maturing from like KH1 Sora, like where all that character development he got in KH1, it's just him getting a little bit more smart-ish and a little bit more mature in his fighting style and how he interacts with others, and him accepting more responsibility instead of being more selfish. Because in KH1, Sora's pretty selfish, but it kind of, he loses that over the course of the game. And I don't know, I love KH, man.
Yeah.
The KH is the reason like I got like so into philosophy, and it really gave me like thinking about like the intricacies of the plot and like what the like the subtle hints we had here and there and theory crafting, like that really got my like imagination running, and it really made me want to pursue writing as like a viable like education, or like that's why I did creative writing, like not because of KH, but like in high school I loved. No, like in high school, I legitimately would like think about topics for paper, and I'd choose philosophy all the time, and I'd pull a lot of my inspiration from like things I'd seen in KH. The whole light versus darkness, like why are we actually afraid of the dark? What is nothingness? Like what is like the essence of death, and what is life? What is it to be happy? What is it to be a complete person? Like these really heavy themes that you wouldn't normally think about, like suddenly, because I'm obsessed with a game that has Disney in it and like cool anime shit, I'm thinking about them. And I think that like that's what Disney was to child audiences, because you have movies like Hunchback and Disney that like challenge a kid's like morality and their sense of good and wrong. Like they present them with really like adult situations, but in a way that a child can process and handle them and still come out with the fully intended message of the film. That's what Disney did, and it challenged us as children. And I think that that's what KH did for kids who grew up with it. That challenged them as well. And I think it gave you, even though like the plot makes no sense, like on a surface level, like if you read like the supplementary material, like the Ultimanias, sometimes if you go back and you watch the games and you think about this and this and this, and you like remember the minute details, like Nomura never puts anything in his games for no reason. He always does everything like with a reason and a relation to the plot in mind. He's always thinking of tiny details, and that's why I love everything that he's involved with. And that's honestly why I think 15 would have been better if it was directed by Nomura. But that's, I already talked about that.
That's, yeah.
But I just...
It's been kind of cool.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
It's been pretty cool going back and playing KH2 as an adult, because I bought 2.5 HD a couple of months back because I had a buddy at work that wanted to play Break My Sleep. So I was like, okay, I'll split this with you. And I started playing through 2.5 again, or 2 specifically. And like looking at the way the plot is structured and looking at the way they talk about light and darkness and having a heart and not having a heart and what happens to the heart and everything, it's so very different as an adult. Because, okay, on a superficial level, just looking at the plot, it really looks like they wrote the entire game to have Roxas as the main character, and then they just decided, we'll switch to sort of like some kind of bad MGS2 plot twist. But, because I mean, you have the beginning of KH2 with Roxas is so strong. you know, you have all this stuff happening. You have him like slowly remembering things,
And people hated that opening because they're like, "Who the fuck is this? I want to play Sora, Don, Goofy. Yeah, fuck yeah! Don't heal me, Donald."
I don't.
That's
I guess
exactly
I
what
just
they're
hung out
saying.
with people because I didn't hear that a lot. A lot of people I hung out with were down with the whole Roxas thing. They're like, man, this is cool. And then switching back to happy-go-lucky Sora after that week is just really jarring and felt like you kind of got betrayed a little bit by the writer. But I don't know, if you look at the way the plot is structured when it comes to dealing with Organization 13 members, and you replace Sora with a Roxas that doesn't have his memories from days back yet, it would be a whole lot stronger. Because, okay, the whole thing with Sora and Organization 13 throughout the entire thing is that everybody remembers him as Roxas. And he's like, oh, who's Roxas? And, like, it almost felt like that was supposed to be mysterious to the player, even though we just spent this entire week learning exactly who the hell Roxas was. So it has no emotional impact on us at all, pretty much. And then you get to the end, and there's like a sudden big reveal by Riku. Roxas is or nobody. I'm like, I've known this the entire game. That's not even like speculation. I played as him. That's the big reveal at the end of the first like 2 hours of the game. But if it had been Roxas instead, and like, but he still couldn't remember all these people except for just like vague feelings that I'm like familiar with these people, and I'm really mad at them, and I don't know why, but I also feel sad looking at them. And then he could have all these allusions to Sora thrown at him, kind of like how Days did it. And then you get to the end of it, and you make it back to the world that never was, and you meet Riku, and he's like, "Your Sora's nobody." That would have been way stronger, have way much more of an emotional impact on you than what we got. And honestly, playing as Roxas versus Sora from a gameplay perspective makes a lot of sense because Kingdom Hearts 2 has so much different shit than the first game. And since, you know, if you ignore Chain of Memories, 2 was 50% of the franchise when it came out, it was really radically different. And then you start that off with a new character who has access to things like reaction commands and dual wielding and stuff like that. Like, it just would have felt right for it to continue with that character instead of taking all of that and just dumping it back onto Sora, who, I don't know, at the end of the week with Roxas, I almost feel like he didn't deserve to be played as, you know? I used to talk about with some people that maybe there could have even been an ending where, like, Roxas becomes his own person because not only does he already have somebody else's heart, but they revealed at, like, the end of Dream Drop, I think, that nobodies can just get a new heart after a while. So why should that happen? It's just, it would have been a cool way to see the series go, but they ended up not doing it. But going back to the whole seeing all the themes differently as an adult is, I understand that when they talk about light and darkness, they mostly mean it as like the magical spiritual sense of life and darkness. But if you look at Heartless and Nobodies and replace darkness with just like actual real negative emotions and take away the whole magical shape-shifting thing, like, there are nobodies and Heartless in real life. Heartless is a little more extreme. That's like the kind of people that just give up on everything and they're like, I'm just gonna fuck everything up, you know? But nobodies are all around us. That's just people with depression. They just don't have hearts. They're just full of darkness. They don't feel anything, and they're yearning for their original heart back because so many people that are going through like extreme depression don't necessarily want to evolve and improve as a person. They just want their old life back. You know, that's the whole plot of the Organization 13 and Kingdom Hearts 2 is remaking something that's not there anymore so they can feel like they used to, where if you just keep going and keep existing as a nobody, you just get a new heart, kind of like depression in real life. You can't just go back to being the old you. You've got to, like, make a new you, you know, because that old one's not there anymore.
That's a
it's just kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting how I didn't see that as a kid.
That's actually extremely interesting. I've never thought about it like that because every one of them, because like even Zaldin, like everybody's like will never be held captive by the power of the heart. We'll have power over it next time. and they want to be better people, but then you figure out later that Xehanort was just fucking with them, trying to plug them up to Kingdom Hearts and make like copies of himself, and he didn't give a flying fuck about their personal struggles.
Right.
Because like the rest of the nobodies, even though they're all assholes, like they just want to be their old selves again. Like they just want to get back humanity because it's like a curse.
In fact,
they don't like being nothing.
Yeah, there's really big evidence to this. I think it was Sykes that said this. Because Sora made a jab about them not having any emotions, and he's like, "Yeah, but we remember what it was like to have emotions," you know?
Yeah. And it was like, we know very well how to injure a heart or some shit like that.
Yeah, tell me that's not a depressed person that doesn't know how to feel anything except lashing out at people hurt them, you know?
I still just need to know. I need to know why Axel and Sykes wanted to join the organization or wanted to get into the Radiant Garden. That's like one of my top answers, like questions that I have. Besides, who's the main villain for the series? Because I, honest to God, think it's this Master of Masters that they're talking about in 2.8.
Considering that they were young and like really rambunctious and had weapons as kids and stuff, I think they were just headed there to fuck shit up. Like they had a bone to pick with who they thought was Ansem, and then he just kidnapped him. Like it's probably more than that, but that's just the feeling I got from Burke Wesley.
We'll probably find out in 3, just because Sykes is a villain now.
Yeah.
Again. I think I can call it a day on that because I think that's all I really wanted to talk about. Like I could talk about like the games as like a whole another time now, but I do appreciate you coming on and talking about Roxas and all this because it's good to have like a different perspective than mine because I've definitely had a different experience with this game than most people have because like I'm a different kind of fan with it. Like I grew up kind of obsessing over this series, and it was kind of all I played for a while. So, thanks for coming on and talking about it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys, do you want to go and head it in stream?
Alrighty. Sounds like a good idea to me.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us on our double stuffed episode. Had a great time. And when we get some more news, I'll let you know.
One day, Cecil Harvey will face off against Neji Hyuga, but that will not.
And it'll be great. It's Cecil Harvey.
May as well just pick new characters.
No.
New characters.
We'll do it next time.
Uh-huh.
I'll only give us 2
Wait,
topics.
talking about the dude from Night Vale?
No.
Oh.
From FF.
All right, guys. Good night, everybody.
Alrighty.
Bye forever.